My name is Antonia. Today I would like to present about our case study about demolition work. For this slide, I would like to intro about demolition work, which is demolition. Demolition is opposite of construction, the tearing down of building and other structures. It must consider the risk to people and the property. Demolition can cause workers and the public to risk that can cause injury or death. The observer must be taken into consideration and structure situation be demolished. Adjacent building and other assets whose demolition and may affect and the condition of the structure asset adjacent to the area. The element of the structure that is load bearing and otherwise related to the physical integrity of the structure is flight high risk construction work. A structure or part of loaded bearing structure or otherwise relates to the physical integrity and the structure of a height of 6 meters. That's all from me. Thank you.
Very good morning to all of you. My name is Aidil and everyone we will be presenting a little bit about case study for both projects. The first project is a double-story bungalow that located in Sri Skandapura. It is demolished to extend the part of the house. And the second is the Ajinomoto plant that located in Jalan Kuchai Lama, Kuala Lumpur. It is demolished in order to build a MLT project. So next will be the parties involved. For the first case study, which is double-story bungalow, it is designed by the Muhammad Safiuddin bin Muhammad Syed that located in Sri Skandapura Rizwan, while it is demolished by the Kitabina Enterprise. The second case study is designed by the Mass Rapid Transit Corporation Sdn Bhd that located in Bukit Damansara, Kuala Lumpur, and demolished is managed by the WCT Berhad. The subcontractor that appointed by the contractor is Lionheart Earthwork and Construction Sdn Bhd that located in Kuala Lumpur, Wilayah Persekutuan. Right. So the method statement for the double-story bungalow, which is the double-story bungalow, the demolition of double-story bungalow, it is used hand demolition. It is the easiest method which use hand tools such as hammer, hand saw, and etc. Maybe needs lifting appliances to hoist release materials from upper floor to the ground floor. The demolition will be done with the order to construction. For example, it starts from the roof and finish at the ground floor. The fourth one, the chute or skid should be used to bring down debris from the upper floor, and the debris should fall freely if horizontal distance to the waterway or adjoining building is greater than 6 meters or half the height of the building. The second case study, which is Ajinomoto plant, it is used pusher arm demolition. It is progressive demolition using a machine fitted with a steel pusher arm, used only when the machine can be operated from the firm level base with a clear operating base of at least 6 meters, and the height of the building should be reduced by hand demolition to make sure that the height of the building is not exceeding 6 meters. The pusher arm should not be overloaded and should be operated from outside of the building, and it is required an experienced operator to operate the pusher arm. The operator will work from within a robust cab. The cab should be fixed with a shatterproof glass cab windows to prevent from impact of flying debris. Lastly, if the building is attached to the other buildings, the structure firstly must be detached from adjoining structure using hand demolition technique. Right. So this is the procedure for the both case study, which is the first one. It is used demolition procedure. The first procedure for the demolition is the first one is it must take photograph for the house so that we can indicates which part of the building should be demolished. The second is we must check the surrounding of the area whether to indicate which part of the area that should be prevent with to prevent accident and to lower the risk of hazard. The third one is after that we do some inspection to the building structure whether it is risky to make some demolition on that apartment. For example, like column, wall, and the fourth one, we have to notice to majlis daerah Bandar Perak, daerah Perak Tengah, so that they can show some approval of the demolition progress. Next, we must use appropriate method for the demolitions, which is demolition must be to make sure that demolition must be in correct way to be handled. Second, next will be the construction new frame. For example, like column, wall, lintel. Okay. Next, taking down the roof and ceiling. Okay. The existing roof and ceiling must be taken off. So after that, we must hacking the floor tiles at the dining hall. Okay. After that, we pulling out the floor tiles at the porch area. Then put away debris at the temporary space before it's exposed. Which is we have to cover them by the temporary screen. Then lastly, we must clean the demolition area before proceed to the renovation work, which is new work. So for the second case study, which is Ajinomoto plant stations, we use for the pusher arm demolition. The first procedure is the roof of the steel structure and the part A will be demolished, and before removing the steel structure, which is the roof must be demolished first before we remove the steel column. So after that, after the roof has been demolished, the column will be removed, and then after part A, the area of part A being demolished, the area of part B will be demolished following the area of part C, which is demolition start in area of part A, and the last demolition will be followed by part C. So the method of demolishing the remaining structure are the same sequence as part A. So the demolition conducted is same as part A, which is it is continuous by first part to the another part using the same material and the same mechanical. Next, the debris will be cleared. After that, debris will be cleared out from the site by using the excavator and lorry truck to shift out and take away or remove out of the site. And next step is tearing down the part B, which is part B. We have some station at the out of this skirt. Okay, and all the remaining debris and waste materials will be cleared out from the site after demolition of superstructure. Continues for the demolition of ground slab and ground beam and continue with the pile. Okay, let's go.
Now I'm going to present about the resource of this project. For the two-story bungalow, the equipment that we use is only a sledgehammer because he only use hand demolition. But for the Ajinomoto plant, he has to have a safety net and a holding because the type of demolition we use is pusher arm demolition. It's used by machinery, Next, the main power of this two-story bungalow is, as you know, project manager, site supervisor, contractor, and general labor. Next, as you can see on this slide, this is the equipment that we use for the Ajinomoto plant, and the main power is the same as the two-story bungalow. I'm going to present about the safety procedure for this case study. First, we can see the two-story bungalow. The list of certification is warning signage shall be posted to prevent unauthorized entry. This means that we need to protect the site for any trespasser. Then furniture and amenity services at the area of demolition. Meaning we need to know if any existing services at the location, because we do not want to put affect this MAD. Next, our personnel involved will equip the safety footwear, safety helmet, glove and Google. This to prevent any incident happen at the site. They have to actually really inspect all the equipment for wear, holding will around the site, minimum get in 3.6 meter. This means that people that walk to the demolition site can see that they need to do not go to the demolition site. Next, the worker must wear PPE and addition PPE, example that gas mask, glove, ear protective gear or any suitable PPE. This is for the safety. And they also need to find the suitable place to put all the demolition debris. It is also the same for the environmental plan, because this demolition is more bigger than the two-story bungalow. So the safety need to be put as the first thing before they do the demolition at the site. Okay, that's for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nadzrul and I will be presenting regarding about the comparison between our both case study. For the two-story bungalow, type of demolition that we use partial demolition, while Aidil and Motor Factory were half demolition. For two-story bungalows, project was doing in year 2016, and for Aidil and Motor Factory in 2017. Since the product contractor, since the Aidil Motor Factory demolition is used for is handled by subcon, which is Lian Hub Earthwork and Construction Lian Hub. While for the two-story bungalow, the demolition and alteration were handled by Kita Bina Enterprise. The method used for demolition from the bungalow were hand demolition, while for the Aidil Motor Factory were push-up demolition. And to the next slide, the purpose of the demolition for the two-story bungalow, actually for the roof, since the roof structure can accommodate the weight of the roof tiles. Second, the roof doesn't follow the specification. Internal and external wall of the designated area was affected by unbearable transfer. And the third one, to build new compartment and store near the demolition area. And for the final one, the purpose is to produce more aesthetic values. While for the Aidil Motor Factory, the purpose of the demolition work is because of the fire for MRT rail that transit from Sungai Buloh to Putrajaya will be constructed at the site. MRT station will be built at the site area, and the name is Kuchai. Now to the next slide, we talk about the advantage and compare between the method of demolition that we used by both projects. Since the two-story bungalow using the hand demolition, so the advantage they get is that the cost is much lower compared to the push-arm demolition. Next, because the small working space at the housing area, making them to choose hand demolition instead of push it out. And also for the last one, the advantage is easy to comply. They are not involved a lot of equipment, only a sledgehammer and a driller. For the Ajinomoto factory, the advantage were the uses of push arm demolition benefit them by the machine because the machine are mobile, so they can demolish the building much more easily, practically, because the flexibility to move the machine. Next is able to handle large machinery at once. Since the Ajinomoto factory, there are a few buildings to be demolished, so using the push arm better choice compared to other method because it can handle it can demolish pretty much quicker. For the last one, it can work on above ground level. Since the building of the factory is pretty big and high, and so with the push arm machine, so they can work on another level, so they have to can control the demolition of the building more safely. Okay, moving on to the disadvantage of the moving on to the disadvantage of the using both method. For the hand demolition, it consumes more time because those demolition were particularly handled by labor manually, and also it was very risky for workers because we can assure that if they demolish one part area, the other part will not be affected. Next, for the Ajinomoto factory that using the push arm demolition, the disadvantage ability for operator to operate the push arm. Since this type of work need a skillful worker, so contractor may be hard to find someone who capable to handle and operate the machine very good. Next, because the limitation height of the building only up to 6,000 mm, 6 meter. Since the reason there's a combining method between push arm and hand demolition, because the push arm only can demolish up only to 6 meter. So the above higher than that, they need to use the hand demolition. Okay, we're moving to the last one, which is the problems from both case study. For the two-story bungalow, in advance, the problems are in advert trespassing by intruders. Since that there are no control in safety, so usually there will be a trespasser come to the house and steal maybe the materials and machine equipment. There also will be water pollution and mosquito hazard. These are very concerned since those demolition were handled in the residential area. Next, damage for existing utilities supply. The demolition also affects some of the machine and materials that been put around the nearby because they are not very handled very well. For the last one, for the two-story bungalow house, the problems are work crushed by the demolition debris. Since once again, there are no practically proper controlling the demolition, so they affect the workers, labours that work nearby. For the Ajinomoto factory, the problems were failure of communication between banksman and operator. This usually always happen, but this situation affect the entire project of the demolition itself. Next is the failure of problems for the Ajinomoto factory were exposure to economic hazard due to inquiry of carrying of equipment. The inexperienced labor handling equipment affect the surrounding because of they are and then it concerns everyone because the Ajinomoto factory is not totally demolished because there are some area that still be using and function as normal. And for the final one is exposed to limited working space. Once again, this demolition will handled in very congested area. So there are some problem that happens and because of the limited working space and they need to be more careful for surrounding. That's all for me. We move on to the next presenter, which is Syed. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syed Aidil and I will be presenting about the last segment of our presentation, which is the critical analysis review. I will be presenting about the critical review about both case study. Okay, for the first case study, we found that the critical review is why is hand demolition is chosen from other demolition method. Okay. Based on our case study, which is the demolition and alteration of bungalow house, we noticed that there are several reasons why hand demolition is chosen rather than other method of demolition. As what has been stated in the background of the project, the building is located at a residential area with high population, and the distance between the neighbors is too closely. Hereby, hand demolition is the most suitable method of demolition to demolish that particular building, as the hand demolition can be worked at small and limited working space. In addition, the owner of the bungalow house has a low budget on the renovation work, and he need to limit the expenditure on the demolition work. Therefore, hand demolition method is selected as it is the cheapest method of demolition. This is because only simple and cheaper tools hand demolition used for this work. Okay, last but not least, this hand demolition also can overcome noise population problem as no involvement of heavy machine and equipment. That's all for the first case study. Okay, let's move to the next case study, which is demolition at Ajinomoto plant. We have analyzed that the critical review that we analyzed for this case study is the safety standard provided at the demolition area. The safety for the demolition process must be in accordance with the DOSH, Department of Safe and Health regulations. Any action must have their safety precautions. This to make sure any incident that will endanger the labor do not occur. Besides that, they have obtained approval from DPKL as to kickstart the demolition work. There is several lists of safety precautions that provided at sites as follows. Firstly, warning signs placed around the site to prevent unauthorized entry. The next is, there is a final check any mechanical and electrical services at the area of the demolition. Third, all personnel involved will be equipped with safety footwear, safety helmet, work glove, and goggles before all lifting equipment to be used. Next, hoarding will be placed around the demolition site with minimum depth of 3.6 meters. Next, proper equipment includes gloves, masks, boots for their protection as well as any heavy equipment that needs to be used to clear the demolition debris. Besides, only authorized trained employees are present during the cleanup and demolition. And last but not least, a spacious and safe area provided as to collect all the debris that need to be cleared away from the site. That's all from us. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, dua mula.
In conclusion, the method applied in structure depend on site condition, type of structure, age of the building, height of building, economy, location, surrounding, and structural stability. Controlled demolition is necessary to ensure that workers is free from safety and the surrounding is free from injury and accident. That's all from us. Thank you.